briefly even touch on the Women's Health Initiative because I think it's important that we don't miss that piece of the conversation for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really important. So when the Women's Health Initiative 2002 was published, it showed that oral estrogens were causing increasing cardiovascular disease, and the combination Premarin Provera, which is synthetic, again, that's a synthetic progestin, caused an increased risk of breast cancer. And that is true to date, right? That information that was published in 2002, they followed it up in 2022 with the 20-year follow-up to the Women's Health Initiative study. And that was published showing that yes, oral estrogens, Premarin, pregnant marriage urine, has over 30 different forms or metabolites of estrogen in it. Is this oral form of estrogen? Yes, it's associated with stroke and heart disease. No, it is not associated with breast cancer. So that is confirmed for the last 20 years, and other studies have confirmed the same thing. And but transdermal estrogen, it takes away the risk for blood clot and lipid abnormalities. So you bypass that risk factor with topical estrogens or transdermal estrogens or vaginal estrogen. And so you want to avoid oral estrogen for those reasons, definitely postmenopause, for the increased risk of stroke and heart disease. And it's nuanced too. There's certain clients that you may use it for a certain amount of time. But anyway, pretty much I go transdermal postmenopause. And then the progestin, avoid those. The progestins in birth control pills cause significant dysfunction. The progestins in hormone replacement therapy cause significant dysfunction, increase your risk for breast cancer. And this again is well established for the last over 2 decades. And so we look at the different forms of progestin. So Provera, medroxyprogesterone, even though it has the word progesterone in it, it's medroxyprogesterone. And that is a progestin, and it increases your risk for breast cancer significantly. So that arm, again, 20-year follow-up showed an increased risk of breast cancer on the progestins. Now, Fournier did an 88,000 person study in 2000, initial 55,000 person study in 2005. It was published. This is 20 years ago. 2005, it was published, and then a follow-up study with 88,000 women, and it's a French study, and that was published in 2008. And it looked at the types of progestins. Bioidentical oral micronized progesterone did not increase risk of breast cancer, but progestins did significantly 2 to 4 times an increased risk. So that's the area that we get into with breast cancer. Transdermally, we can feel that it's safe, and it's not going to increase your risk. Now, I treat women with who have had breast cancer, and I say we're going to create bodies inhospitable to cancer. It's not the hormone itself, that it's the way the hormone was used on the body that created, unless they were on a progestin, for instance, or had a long-term history of birth control pills. You want to understand the cause of the cancer to begin with, as much as we can figure that out. So, I take care of that patient to create bodies inhospitable to any cancer. And then uterine cancer, now that's another specific thing. What happened, and this is fascinating because in the 1950s, Premarin was manufactured by Wyeth Ayers Pharmaceuticals, and I worked for Wyeth Ayers between college and medical school. I was in the drug metabolism department. So I have some inside knowledge here. I was mainly computerizing their drug metabolism department, but anyway, I was there. And Wyeth Ayers is the makers of PremPro and Premarin Provera. And and so when Premarin was released, and in the 1950s as the magic pill, right? Every woman, and over age 50 needs to be on this magic purple pill, right? And women started getting uterine cancer. And this was because if they had their uterus and they were on estrogen unopposed by progesterone, they had an increased risk for uterine cancer. And that's where the progestins started.